What if I told you that the rarest personality type in the world is also the most haunted? They're known as the empaths, the healers, the advocates. They walk through life seeing depths in people that others miss. They dream of a better, kinder world. But deep inside the INFJ mind, behind that calm and knowing smile, there is a single chilling thought. It's not a fear of death or spiders or being alone. It's something far more profound. It's the thought that wakes them up at 3 a.m., heart pounding, questioning everything. And today we're going to uncover what it is. Stick around. This might change how you see the INFJs in your life forever. First off, the core terror, humanity's infinite capacity for evil. After deep research and speaking with hundreds of INFJs, one terrifying thought emerged above all others. It's not a personal fear, it's a cosmic one. The one thought that terrifies every INFJ is the profound, soul-crushing realization of humanity's infinite and often unchecked capacity for cruelty, injustice, and evil. This isn't just watching the news and feeling sad. For an INFJ, it's a physical, spiritual pain. Their dominant function, introverted intuition, NI, sees the patterns of history repeating. Their auxiliary function, extroverted feeling, FE, literally feels the emotional weight of all that suffering. It connects the dots between a hateful comment online and genocides in history. It's the terrifying understanding that the same species that created art and love also engineered the Holocaust. This terror is why so many INFJs feel like they're old souls. It's the weight of centuries of human darkness on their shoulders. It's why an INFJ can be at a happy party and suddenly feel a wave of dread. They're not just at the party, they're feeling the sum total of every fake smile and hidden pain in the room. This terror can paralyze them with grief, or it can be the very fuel that propels them to change the world. Because the alternative, doing nothing, is even more terrifying. And secondly, check this out. The paradox of foresight. Your greatest gift? Well, it's also a curse. Let's talk about the cruel paradox that every INFJ faces. Your greatest gift is also your personal tormentor. I'm talking about your infamous foresight. Imagine your brain is a supercomputer that constantly, automatically, and involuntarily simulates future timelines. It sounds like a superhero power, right? But it's not. It's a prison. The terrifying thought here is this. I can see exactly how this will end in disaster, and I feel completely powerless to stop it. This is the dark side of introverted intuition. An INFJ doesn't just see a friend making a questionable relationship choice. Their mind fast forwards 10 years. They see the devastating divorce, the effect on the children, the financial ruin, the emotional scarring. They don't just see a politician telling a lie, they see the policy domino effect. They visualize how that one decision will lead to suffering for thousands of people decades from now. This is why INFJs are notorious for overthinking and what looks like procrastination. But it's not laziness, it's analysis paralysis on an existential scale. Why make a simple decision when your mind instantly and vividly shows you 47 potential catastrophic outcomes? Your intuition isn't just predicting the future, it's holding you hostage to it. While other personality types fear the unknown, the INFJ's terror is the known. The terror is the absolute certainty of a negative outcome that hasn't happened yet. It's the emotional exhaustion of living through pain that is still only a possibility. This burden of foresight creates a devastating self-fulfilling prophecy. The INFJ becomes so terrified of the future they visualize that they pull back. They don't take the risk. They don't have the difficult conversation. They don't pursue the dream. And in doing nothing to avoid the perceived disaster, they often create a different, quieter disaster of missed opportunities and regret. Your greatest gift, the thing that makes you visionary and wise, is the very thing that can paralyze you with dread. That is the paradox, and that is the curse of the INFJ. All right, third on the list. The mask of small fears. Your phone anxiety ain't what you think it is. Now we get to the most controversial and misunderstood part of the INFJ psyche. This is where their deep terror wears a clever disguise. INFJs report these seemingly trivial everyday anxieties. We're talking about that dreaded phone call, the overwhelming crush of a crowded mall, the exhausting chore of meaningless small talk, even a fear of the dark. But here is the secret that most people miss. These small fears are not what they appear to be. They are decoys. They are psychological defense mechanisms. Your mind creates these smaller, manageable monsters to protect you from the overwhelming existential terror you just can't face head-on. That phone isn't scary because of the conversation. It's a terrifying, unexpected intrusion into your complex internal world. Your mind is a high-security control room running constant simulations on humanity's future. A ringing phone is a 5-alarm fire drill that crashes the entire system. It shatters your focus and yanks you from a deep, meaningful internal process into a shallow, unpredictable external demand. That crowd isn't scary because of the people. It's terrifying because an INFJ doesn't have emotional boundaries. They are emotional sponges. Their extroverted feeling function absorbs the anxiety, the stress, and the hidden sadness of every single person in that room. It's not social anxiety, it's emotional osmosis. It is a literal sensory and emotional overload that feels like being drowned in a tidal wave of collective human noise. And the fear of the dark, it's never about monsters under the bed. For the INFJ, the darkness is a blank canvas, and their intuition, their pattern-seeking mind, will immediately project onto it the very real monsters of human cruelty and suffering they constantly contemplate. The dark is just a mirror, reflecting the darkness they fear already exists inside humanity itself. These small fears are a brilliant and necessary coping strategy. They are the only safe way for an INFJ to process a terror that is otherwise too vast and too devastating to comprehend. And fourth, we have the relationship trap. I love you, therefore I must leave you. This existential terror doesn't exist in a vacuum. It bleeds into every single relationship an INFJ has, and it creates the most devastating double bind imaginable. The terrifying thought here is this: to let you in is to show you my darkness, and that will either cause you to abandon me or force me to watch as I inevitably hurt you with my intensity. This is the INFJ's relationship trap. They possess a profound fear of abandonment, a deep-seated dread of being left alone with their own overwhelming mind. But counterintuitively, they harbor an even deeper and more powerful fear of genuine connection, because to truly connect is to be truly seen, and to be seen is to risk someone finally witnessing the bottomless well of existential dread they carry with them every single day. Their internal monologue screams, if you truly knew the chaotic and dark thoughts that live in my head, if you felt the weight of the world the way I feel it, you would run. So I must protect you from the real me, I must love you from a distance. This is the real, hidden, and painfully misunderstood reason behind the infamous INFJ door slam. It is rarely ever an act of malice or petty revenge. It is almost always a preemptive strike born from sheer terror. It is the ultimate sacrifice play. The INFJ's intuition has run the simulation. They have foreseen a future where this relationship causes one or both of them profound, irreparable pain. And so, out of a twisted sense of care, they make the choice to end it now. They decide to inflict a smaller, controlled pain today to avoid the catastrophic, uncontrollable pain of tomorrow. They are trying to minimize the inevitable damage they believe they will cause. It is the ultimate tragedy of the INFJ. They end relationships not because they have stopped caring, but precisely because they care too much. They would rather you hate them and be safe than love them and be destroyed by the darkness they are convinced they carry within them. And fifthly, the imagination prison. Is this a vision or am I going insane? And finally, we arrive at the most insidious layer of the terror. The INFJ begins to fear their own mind. The thought is, my intuition is so vivid, so powerful, that I can no longer tell the difference between a genuine premonition and a paranoid delusion. This is the ultimate nightmare for a type that relies entirely on their internal compass. What happens when that compass starts spinning? Their imagination isn't just creative, it's hyper-realistic. They don't think about a worst-case scenario, they experience it in full sensory detail in their mind's eye. This is why INFJs have a unique fear of insanity, because their entire reality is built on insights and patterns that are invisible to everyone else. When that world turns dark, who can they tell? Who would believe them? They are trapped in a prison of their own making, terrified that the very gift that defines them is also slowly unraveling them. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. I want to hear from you in the comments. Was this accurate? Which of these terrors hits home the hardest? Let's get a debate going. If you're not an INFJ but you know one, share this video with them. It might just help them feel understood. Smash that like button if you want more content that delves this deep into the psychology of personality. And subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching. Remember, it's the deepest darkness that makes the brightest light seem so brilliant.